Hi everyone, my name's Deb and this is my parakeet Sunny Blue, and we'd love to read a story with you today. This book is called Mr. Mumble. The story and the paintings are by Peter Catalanotto, who happens to be one of my favorite book illustrators. So let's read about Mr. Mumble. Saturday morning, Mr. Mumby awoke with a tickle in his throat. "I hope I'm not coming down with something," he said to himself, "for I have so much to do today." And here's his shopping list. Shopping: bakery, bagels, fruit stand, pears, grocery, stew, tailor, coat, 5 and 10, clock. As he was getting dressed, the phone rang. "Hello, Mumby speaking," he said. "Mr. Mumble?" inquired the operator. "I'm sorry to have bothered you, Mr. Mumble. I was calling a Mr. Mumby." She hung up. But I'm Mr. Mumby," he said to himself. "Oh well." On his way to breakfast, Mr. Mumby passed his landlady carrying a huge basket of laundry. She heard Mr. Mumby say, "May I marry your cat?" "Certainly not," the landlady replied and hurried into her apartment. What Mr. Mumby had really asked was, "May I help carry that?" At the diner, he was served 2 scarecrow legs and a car muffler. Mr. Mumby smiled politely, paid his bill, and left the restaurant. What he really ordered was 2 scrambled eggs and a corn muffin. At the bakery, he was handed a dozing beagle. Mr. Mumby had asked for a dozen bagels. And imagine his bewilderment when at the fruit stand he asked the woman for a pound of pears. And what did he get? A panda bear. And the grocer for a can of stew. And what did he get? A kangaroo. Next, at the tailor's, he was sure he'd mentioned only his light tan coat. "Oh my," coughed poor Mr. Mumby, because what did he get? But a light tan goat. At the 5 and dime, a clerk gave him an aardvark when he asked for an alarm clock. And the haberdasher handed him a muskrat when all he'd said to the man was that he needed a new hat. At last, Mr. Mumby bleated as best he could. "No one seems to understand me today." He thought he'd better see a doctor. When the doctor asked Mr. Mumby to open wide and say, "Ah," finally, everyone understood the problem. Squawk! Smiling at last, Mr. Mumby added another stop to his list. The pet store. "I wonder," he said, quite clearly now, "what an aardvark eats." So that's Mr. Mumble by Peter Catalanotto. I hope you enjoyed the story. Have a wonderful day and don't forget to read.